at home, one against Adelaide, one against Sydney, so you got to think that they're going to get those. So it's going to be all the way to the wire to see who are going to be the 4 teams in the playoffs in the postseason.
Yeah, it's going to come right down to the wire there. That split may be the difference there at the moment. I think that's going to certainly help Townsville. They have got a slightly harder run home than Cairns, but I think they've got a very good record at home. I think they're 10-2 at home, so they've got a very good chance of squeaking in there, but it's going to be very close.
Yeah, they sure do. As Bartlett looking for a teammate now. Bartlett on the mismatch, gets it to Daniel Johnson. Back out to Bartlett for 3. Bobs away from deep, and Adelaide open up the scoring outside the three-point line. Now, this is a team that is super dangerous when they shoot over 40% outside the three-point line. They are 8-0. Diamond Simpson with the rejection.
A nice recovery there from Diamond Simpson. Looked like he was beaten. I think Mika Bacona may have got away with a little travel on that drive, but you see Gary Wilkinson matched up there against Chris Warren. A big mismatch there, and they've gone to him on the cut through for the 2 free throws.
Brad, they're so patient. I mean, Wilkinson lost the ball twice to the quick hands of Chris Warren. He kept his composure, and then once he got the ball down the block, knew exactly where to go. He went down to the paint where he had the advantage.
And they're very smart too. They do. This is one of the teams that will recognise those mismatches. We see it all year where you see a centre on Chris Warren and they just haven't utilised that, whereas New Zealand is a team that will go to that mismatch and exploit it.
Let's go grab! Let's go grab!
And here's their extended pressure. It really bothered Adelaide last time they met in this building. That's an 8-second violation. That was an ugly possession for Adelaide.
It was really good pressure, though. It is hard for an opposition team when you've got someone like Mika Bacona up the court all over the point guard. It does make it very difficult, and as you said, Adelaide do struggle with some of that up-court pressure.
Abercrombie has been the thorn in the side for the Adelaide 36ers.
Stop it, Stevie, stop it. Hey, stop it, both of you. Stop it, okay?
A little bit of physicality early, which is good. It's good from Adelaide's perspective, I think, more so, because they've got to show they're willing to stand up to the might of New Zealand early on. If New Zealand get their tails up and get a good lead early, then it's going to be a very long night here for Adelaide.
Yeah, and Mika Bacona is a guy you have to be watching the whole game. Pound for pound, the best rebounder in the competition for a number of years.
Yeah, both he and Jacob Holmes are very good for their height. Quick spin on Mika Bacona, but yeah, he's so good to have on your team. I think everyone in the league would love to have a Mika Bacona, both at the offensive and defensive end, probably more so at the defensive end.
Wilkinson on the offensive glass gets a run and start at that thing. Bartlett turned the corner, creates some space for himself and draws a blank with the jump hook. New Zealand can play either tempo. They can run it, they can run their half-court sets and grind it. Wilkinson trying to get up and in on Daniel Johnson. And although he's given about a good 3/4 of a head away to Daniel Johnson, he can't guard him that far away from the basket.
No, Daniel is so quick on the perimeter. I would advise Gary to just take that little step off.
Different ways.
He is, and it is great to see these young guys really blossom throughout the course of their career, and we're really seeing that with Daniel this year. He mentioned he's getting more opportunity. He's really grasping it.
Brett, Cedric Jackson can get to the rim anytime he wants.
Yeah, he can. He's just got that physical presence as well. He can bullock his way in, but he's got speed. He's got great handles.
Well, he goes between his legs, spins behind his back in traffic. Not many guys in the league can do that.
Yeah, he's very talented. Great pickup for New Zealand. Exactly what they needed, especially with CJ getting a little bit older. Bringing someone in like Cedric is a great pickup.
He gets 1 of 2. Shoots that free throw real flat-footed. Bartlett using Daniel Johnson to bring it up. The Stephen Way turning the corner. Takes the bump and the soft shot off the backboard is good for Stephen Way.
That's aggressive drive there by Steve. He's probably at times taken a bit of a back seat throughout the course of the game, but I'd like to see him more aggressive, as we see a steal there by Everard Bartlett.
Good ball pressure by Bartlett. Gets it to Daniel Johnson. He hangs in the air over the athletic Thomas Abercrombie. Daniel Johnson making his mark early. He is already 3 for 3 for his 6 points.
Thomas Abercrombie was able to get up there, pretty much nearly blocked that. It was only the extra couple inches that Daniel Johnson got away with there, getting it over the top. He's one of the real superstars of the league, Thomas Abercrombie. Emerging superstars, isn't he, Steve, with the way he goes about his business. Such an athletic talent as well. Yeah,
he sure is. Well, he has really blossomed in a couple of areas of his game. One at the three-point line, Jackson for 3, and when he starts knocking those down, watch out.
It's going to make for a tough night when you've got to guard him out the three-point line with his quickness.
Jackson with the hands, gets it in. Bartlett gets the return steal, gets to the rim. Shot blocked by Abercrombie, but Diamond Simpson cleans it up. Jackson ahead of the pack.
Straight back down the other way, and they will punish you very quickly if you're not ready.
Jackson with those active hands leads the league in steals. He's one of those guys you got to be very careful on those crossovers.
All over the court, they're active, aren't they? You bring on, you've got Mika Vicona who gets subbed out by Dylan Boucher. There's no rest there, and we see CJ Bruton coming in for Daryl Corletto.
They just keep coming at you. There are some teams, I think, that sub too much. New Zealand is not one of them.
Yeah.
They're bringing people in. They're not losing anything as Stephen Way has a three-pointer rattle out. Thomas Abercrombie over the top of the pack. Pulls down that board. Jackson. 3 with pressure. He is feeling it. Oh, my goodness.
Tough shot, too. Stevie Way coming out, putting pressure on that shot. It'll be a long night.
So much for he's a pass-first guard. He must have got tired of reading about that. Johnson squares up, backs down to smaller Wilkinson, gets it to Way. His first shot looked good, and that one goes down. Yeah, sometimes when a guy shoots one and it does everything and it rattles out, you think this is almost like hitting one. Yeah. It felt good and just a slight adjustment.
It did look good from behind too. We were nearly right behind that, and it looked good out of his hand. The first one, the second one obviously was good, and good to see him being aggressive this early in the game.
CJ's three's off the mark. Daniel Johnson has it, shoots over the top of Wilkinson. Boy, Daniel Johnson is looking like he's on his way to a 30-point night. Whoa! Super quick drive and crossover by Cedric Jackson.
Just a real quick step there, wasn't it? Just a quick step around to the side and was able to clear himself plenty of room to get the shot off.
Warren, and that's what he does best.
Both teams executing extremely well at the offensive end. I don't think it's been real bad defense so far either. Both teams are just connecting on their shots and shooting at a great clip. New Zealand is shooting at 60% on 6 of 10. And Adelaide at 9 of 12, 75% to start the game.
Jackson with a hesitation gets to the rim. Oh, he set it up with a couple of perimeter shots and then scoots by for a layup. Johnson on the other end gets another score. Daniel Johnson on fire. He's a perfect 5 for 5 for his 10 points. And we got 4 minutes to go in the first.
Real good look up the court there by Everard Bartlett to see that Daniel Johnson had cleared himself a couple of meters ahead of Gary Wilkinson.
CJ at the three-point line. Gets it to Abercrombie for 3. That never looked like missing. Both teams shooting the eyes out of this thing.
That's probably the difference between Abercrombie and a lot of the other young, up-and-coming athletic players, is that he has really developed that outside shot. Whereas a lot of the others have got the athleticism but still haven't got their shot going as yet.
Brett, you know what I like about Daniel Johnson there are a lot of things to like. is that he knows he's hot now.
Yeah.
In the past, he might have turned down that shot. They're going right back to the well. We're all tied up at 22 here at the Adelaide Arena.
Things to do before summer ends. Go to the beach. Go for a surf. Build a sand. I have no idea what that is. Go to Hungry Jack's. Play cricket. Watch cricket. Listen to crickets. Take your dog to the park. Go to an outdoor concert. Go to Hungry Jack's. Climb a tree. All in love. Ride a horse to Hungry Jack's. Come into Hungry Jack's for a summer value meal and get a Whopper Junior, small fries and small frozen Coke for just $3.95. Available all day, every day. Hungry Jack's makes it better.
Welcome back. We're tied up at 22 here in Adelaide. Spoke to Marty Clark before the game, and I asked him, is it easier to work with his team now that they're playing with confidence?
Yeah, and we've worked hard on belief. You know, I guess belief is confidence and self-belief and believing in each other's. And, you know, we have probably turned it over a little bit much in the last couple of games, but it's one of those fine edges. Do you get on about turnovers, then drill into their confidence, and we're choosing to go the other way and trying to turn a bit of a blind eye to that, and so we'll go out and play with some flair and some confidence.
I like what he does. I mean, I know Marty Clark has caught a lot of criticism, you know, over the last couple of years, of course, because if they don't win another game this year, then they're going to have 8 wins compared to 9 wins last year, and they expect championships here in Adelaide. But he's got a young crew, and they are improving out of sight. And I also think they just need like a Mika Vakona type of guy. They're all nice guys. I think they need a real McNasty.
I think every team's after that,
Yeah.
aren't they? You look at the best teams in the league, New Zealand, Perth, they've all got nasty guys in their team that are willing to physically intimidate other players, and we don't really have that here in Adelaide. Someone that is willing to get after and be a real physical presence in the game, both at the defensive end of the court, but also offensively. Someone who'll go out there and really knock people over on screens. So it is certainly something that has been lacking this year, and he touched on confidence quite a few times there. It is such a big thing in professional sport to have that confidence. They've won a couple now, and you're starting to see a much better, more confident outfit, and much more pleasant to watch when they're shooting the ball. They've got good belief in themselves, and they're shooting it at the moment at 76.9%, so certainly believing in themselves.
Yeah, one thing you want to do when you have a shooting percentage like that is you want to have a pretty good lead, but they're only up by 2.
They are, because New Zealand are also shooting extremely well, as Adelaide have turned the ball over there.
Yeah, he was on a curl cut. Warren looked like he thought he was going to fade on that one. C.J. Bruton catch and shoot from the wing. Kind of a delayed celebration from C.J.
Yeah, the 2 hands up in the air.
He didn't look old on the shot. He looked old on the celebration. C.J.'s got more wins than any active player in the National Basketball League. Daniel Johnson gets one up. That's off the mark. Pledger, who's come off the bench, is a 7-footer. International experience, starts on the New Zealand national team. Boucher gets a running start at Daniel Johnson, kicks it to Pledger. Good hands by Alex Pledger.
That's one of the big benefits of Dylan Boucher. He's not the best scorer in the league, but he is able to get in there and commit people defensively, and he's a very good passer.
Darren Ing is a priority out on the perimeter. Johnson, one-on-one coverage against the smaller Dylan Boucher.
Real good to see Adelaide going at Daniel Johnson and just attacking the hot man here, getting him the ball, because he has certainly helped set up this good start of the game for them.
Here's a look at how that's a foul. I don't understand how that's a foul.
He kept his arms in. It was just being physical, wasn't it? I don't think there's much more he can do when you're matching up against someone quite a bit bigger than you.
And you're not allowed to extend those arms, but at the same time, you're able to hold your ground. I mean, we don't want it to get to a situation where the only way they can defend the post is to fly.
Yeah.
Warren going left, throws it to the ref.
He was open.
when a pass comes to you and you're the referee, I think it might be an instinct to catch the ball. Or I mean, he ducked. He did the right thing.
He did duck. Well,
it was right to him.
We seen in AFL when one of the umpires there went in and took a mark one stage when he got kicked towards him. You'd love to see the referee catch the ball and jack up a 3, wouldn't you?
Well, most referees are former players, so you're in your player instincts. The guy throws you the ball. I don't know if he had his feet ready to elevate and shoot, but you know, he might want to catch one every now and then. Bacona looking to turn the corner. He just backing down Chris Warren. There's nothing he can do about that.
Just bullocked his way through, didn't he, to the bucket.
Warren turns on the Jets, gets a bump from C.J. Bruton. Ing, tough shot by Ing. It's off the mark.
Probably not the best shot there by Darren. He came off. He did have a lot of defensive presence all over him there. Tough shot to hit.
C.J. Bruton off the back of the iron. Leon Henry with the tip out. Bacona turned the corner and he's fouled by Daniel Johnson.
I think he definitely fouled him early there, but at the end of it, it did look a little bit unlucky as we watched that again. Not much in that one. Maybe a little nudge with a hit, pushing him forward.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was going to let the contact go until he actually started to stumble and hit the floor. But it wasn't much of a hit.
Wasn't much. The unfortunate thing is now New Zealand go to the line from Adelaide's fans to get a 50-50 call go against here, and then to have them go the line is not ideal.
You know, it's always been a knowledgeable crowd as Mika Bacona shoots it at 64% on the season. His career, 68, so he's right around his average. And anytime he gets 2, I'm sure he'll take that as a bonus. Cedric Jackson checks back in. Bartlett.
I think Bartlett's been a reasonable pickup. A lot of people were questioning their decision to bring him in over some of the younger talent like Tom Daly partway through the season, but he has certainly given them some good minutes throughout the course of this year.
Darren Ing with another tough one.
Another tough one. When Thomas Abercrombie's coming from behind, he's got to clear a lot of room to get that shot off.
Jackson with the athletic Mitch Creek on him. Jackson throws upstairs at Thomas Abercrombie.
He was a foot and a half above the ring then. That was spectacular.
That's how you end a quarter. New Zealand Breakers showing you why they are the biggest, baddest boys in the jungle as Thomas Abercrombie goes upstairs. That even looked good in slow motion. Breakers on top, 33-24 after 1. We'll be back.